Welcome back, true believers, spectacular Spidey fans, and Spidey Squad members to another Spider-Man PS4 related video. I think this will be the last of Bill Roseman DICE 2017 videos in regards to Spider-Man PS4. I might do another video in regards to the Avengers project, but who knows. But primarily with Spider-Man PS4 and all the information that Bill Roseman was telling us in regards to Spider-Man PS4 at his DICE 2017 presentation, this will most likely be the last video in regards to his main presentation. And right here, what you're seeing, this is a IGN article, which, you know, sometimes you can't really trust IGN, and they're not really a reliable source, or they don't really put out good news or anything like that. But this is actually a really good article. And we'll put it in the link in the description so you can read it yourselves. It's a very good part. And specifically, I'm going to focus on one main factor here, which is the only unknown factor in regards to this whole other article. So already, as you can see of the title, DICE 2017, Marvel games to tell original stories, not held to canon. So, if you do remember, I did do a video about this, actually quite a few months ago, back when I was still in college. I'll put a link to that in the description so you can watch it as well. But this was confirmed a while ago. All of the Marvel games, up to this point, starting with Spider-Man PS4, will not be tied into any more movies. Movie tie-in games from Marvel are dead. They are no more. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the last movie tie-in game that we ever will get from Marvel, and the rest will be fully AAA, high-quality, original stories that will be totally worth the buy for these games. Worth the purchase, worth the just what we're doing right now, just waiting for Spider-Man PS4 news, waiting for more footage. The wait of all these games will be worth it. They will not let us down. Especially, again, these aren't games to be taken lightly. It's not like this is it's a Spider-Man game, but it's not tied into Spider-Man Homecoming. Oh, okay, so it's just gonna be a cool Spider-Man game. No. No. The fact in Spider-Man PS4's case, not just for the Avengers project, and also Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale series, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but mainly talking about our boy Spider-Man. It's a fully AAA game, made by Insomniac Games, one of the most talented game studios out there. It's an exclusive for the PlayStation. Spider-Man is now one of Sony's / PlayStation's official mascots. Because of the King ad, since he was featured primarily in the King ad, that makes Spider-Man a official Sony mascot. Just like Nathan Drake, just like Ratchet & Clank, just like Sly Cooper, just like Joel and Ellie. All those other iconic PlayStation characters, you know, Cole McGrath, Kratos, Delson Rowe, all these really, really memorable characters with AAA experiences are now going to be towards Marvel. So now, again, Marvel, again, specifically with Spider-Man, these are going to be extremely high-quality games, and specifically speaking from Bill Roseman's own words, right there. We want every game to be Game of the Year. If that doesn't get you excited, I have no idea what will. So, pretty much, in this article, like I said before, I already did a video talking about how Marvel and their new video games will not be tied into any movies, so please go check out that video. I won't really talk about that. Same thing with they're saying that none of the movies and the games will be kind of connected with one another in any way. Yes, we already know that. The projects that way leverage awareness of some current popular brands. Again, with Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Avengers getting their represented games, their respective games, and the treatment that they all deserve. Insomnia working on Spider-Man, Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix and Eidos Montreal working on Avengers, Telltale on Guardians, and Capcom on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So, already we're getting all these totally, crazily AAA developers for all of our characters. Again, also with Sucker Punch, who, again, we don't know if it is a Marvel game they're working on, but all the hints and evidence that we have from them so far does point to a certain Marvel character. The Spidey Squad's theory is that it could be an Iron Man game. That would be incredible. I think it will be a Marvel game, and I do hope it is an Iron Man game, because it would be a great fit, especially seeing after what they did with Second Son, infamous Second Son. Right there in that paragraph, you kind of get a little bit better analysis from Bill Roseman. We want all of our games to tell an original, all-new story. We want our development partners to have passion. We want them to put their stamp on the games. It's their game. We want it to be their vision. Again, you can also watch the E3 interviews. They did 2 interviews. Brian Idahar and Bill Roseman did 2 separate interviews in regards to Spider-Man PS4. Again, I won't really go in a lot of detail of that because you have probably already seen those interviews at E3 and also have probably read this article as well. But again, getting to the nitty-gritty of the really important specific part here is that the Game of the Year quality. Bill Roseman says, we want every game to be Game of the Year. So we're focusing on each game at a time. We know there are certain characters people are really hungry for. But right now, we're just going to focus on getting those right. So again, right now, as you can see from Bill Roseman, what tweets has Bill been posting? We have Spider-Man, and we have the Avengers, and we have Guardians of the Galaxy, and we also have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is a fighting game. Okay, it will have a really cool original story, but again, fighting games, even though Injustice 2's story does look really cool, they're just fighting games. They're not really meant to be taken that seriously. But there have been some instances where Mortal Kombat or I think Street Fighter have been up for nominations for Game of the Years, or at least a nomination for Best Fighting Game of the Year, something like that. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale games. Telltale is always known for having really great, gripping, dynamic stories. I think my favorite game from Telltale must be Wolf Among Us. That game just hit it right home with the story with Bigby Wolf and all the, enchanted characters, the fables. They did such a great job with that game. The Batman Telltale series was really great, seeing how they handled the dark and gritty side of Two-Face, especially, and also Catwoman, and all the kind of twists and turns that happened within that story and how they handled Alfred and Bruce Wayne. They did a great job. And now that they're going to do Guardians of the Galaxy, so it's going to be a parallel to Batman. We had dark and gritty, now we're going to have most likely fun and ambitious and totally just out of this world awesome. Then, we have the Avengers project. And after playing Tomb Raider, the first Tomb Raider game from Crystal Dynamics, the one that came out in 2013, and seeing the majority of the cutscenes and gameplay from Rise of the Tomb Raider from Crystal Dynamics, they did a great job with handling those games. They have funny moments and mainly serious moments, but that's because it's Lara Croft. Lara Croft does have a lot of a serious story sometimes, depending on what type of adventure she's going on. And seeing how they're handling Avengers, we have Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, Thor, etc. All these other AAA classic characters. They can definitely balance the tale of a fun game and a serious game, most likely with how they're going to be handling. Up next is Spider-Man. Insomniac, again, the whole motto of this game, Peter Parker's world and Spider-Man's world will collide. This is a veteran Spider-Man. He's in his prime, pretty much, super experienced. What Peter's monologue is saying, people see me and they think they're safer, but it's not really me they're seeing. Again, it has that kind of heavy-handed tone, which is great. It's a mature Spider-Man story. I'm not saying that the game will be rated M, but I'm saying that the most mature Spider-Man game that we have had so far is Spider-Man Web of Shadows, that of which being a original Spider-Man game. One Spider-Man game that is not tied into any movie, it would be Web of Shadows. And that game is, of course, my favorite Spider-Man game of all time. Had a great, fantastic story, super gripping, wasn't lighthearted, was really funny at some moments, but it wasn't, taken lightly, the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon is. That show is primarily just for little kids. This game is going to be a serious game, not super dark and gritty like the Arkham games, but very detailed and in-depth with how they're going to tell the narrative. Again, they're working hand-in-hand with Marvel to tell this story. It's going to be out of this world amazing. And of course, all of the developers are extremely passionate with these characters. Insomniac loves Spider-Man to death. Crystal Dynamics is probably doing all their research right now in the Avengers. They probably love the Marvel Cinematic Universe Avengers, and they're just going to do their own unique original story as well. Again, even though the Avengers project is going to be released in 2018, and Spider-Man PS4 is going to be released in 2017, they're not tied into anything. None of these Marvel games are tied in with the movies. The Avengers project is not based on Avengers Infinity War, Spider-Man PS4 is not based on Homecoming, etc. Same thing. So with Game of the Year quality, we're going to have original stories, original tales, original developing standpoints, and just really gripping games that will be just out of this world incredible. The passion and in-depth just development that is going into all these games, and especially Spider-Man PS4, as we can see with no news since September. It's really insane, and I just can't wait for the future of Marvel. Thank you so much for watching, True Believers. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Peace out.